told you that with just 4 data points, you could quickly identify if your facility has a marketing problem, a pricing problem, or an operational problem. Website traffic, leads, rentals, and occupancy. That's all you need. Oftentimes, as operators, we look at hundreds of data points trying to determine where an issue or a gap in the customer journey exists. But more data doesn't always create more clarity. It often just creates more noise. And by using those 4 metrics, you can quickly and easily determine where those gaps might exist in your customer journey. So as we head into the busiest season in self-storage, that's exactly what we're looking for. And today I want to walk through a couple different scenarios of what that looks like and what those metrics could be telling us. So first, your website traffic is up, your leads are up, but your rentals are down. So this scenario is usually one of the clearest. Your online visibility is operating the way it's supposed to be. Traffic to your facility is increasing. People are calling. People are inquiring. People are looking at your website, but your rentals just are not going anywhere. And this traditionally points to a follow-up or operational issue. A secondary issue could be pricing. So thinking about the follow-up or operational side of it, in a managed facility, we would ask questions like, is the manager following up quickly with leads? Are they effectively trying to close the sale? And what other gaps are there that could be from an operational standpoint that is causing that customer to not get the information they need quick enough to make a buying decision? In a remotely managed environment, we have to evaluate things like, is there delayed response time? Is there poor call center handling? Is there weak automation follow-up? And finally, is there friction in that online rental process? Is there something that is preventing the customer from completing that rental and that purchase? This scenario can also point to a pricing or value issue. So customers may have enough interest to get to your website, to make that phone call, but are they motivated enough to actually rent? That's where we need to evaluate what are the rates, competitive rates in your market? Are your competitors offering a stronger promotion or incentive? Is your facility communicating enough value compared to other nearby options? And are your fees or pricing structure or additional move-in costs creating some type of hesitation for your potential tenants? So the opportunity is there, but the operational processes and overall value maybe isn't strong enough to convert that lead into an actual rental. Scenario 2, your website visits are down, your leads are down, but your rentals are up. So in this scenario, we're looking at your website and your marketing may be the issue because things are not trending in the positive. But it also tells us a lot about consumer behavior in your market. So if your rentals are up, you're still attracting customers through other means. So is there drive-by traffic? Are there referrals? Are there direct phone calls to your facility? So you're going to want to look at things like your Google business profile, your reviews and your star ratings, your SEO visibility. What type of phone call activity are you getting and where are those phone calls coming from? And honestly, your overall kind of local search performance. So in this scenario, you also need to kind of consider the market itself and where your facility lives. So a rural facility, a suburban facility, an urban facility, their rental behaviors from a customer standpoint are all going to be slightly different. So some properties may have visibility from the road or a strong local brand recognition, while others are going to depend heavily on that online visibility. So while when rentals are up, declining web visits and leads should never be ignored. It may indicate that the property is succeeding despite those issues, not because your online presence is strong. So the third scenario, web visits are up, leads are down, rentals are down, and your occupancy is staying the same. So this one kind of requires a little bit of a deeper look. So at first look, you're going to want to first look at occupancy. Is your occupancy very high? Do you typically stay in the 90-95% range of occupancy? And if that's the case, you just might not have the availability to rent. But if occupancy is low, then you're going to need to evaluate pricing and promotions. So ask yourself, are there active specials or incentives? Are your rates competitive within the market, similar to our previous scenario that we talked about with pricing? Is the facility offering enough value compared to its competitors? So your facility may be generating enough traffic online successfully because you can see that traffic is increasing, but the customers aren't converting because there's a pricing or promotion issue. They're just not competitive. So you may also, again, consider the market itself. Have competitors recently lowered their prices? Has a new facility entered the market? Have there been new units opened at a competitor facility? Has demand shifted because of seasonality or local economic conditions? And finally, review the website and digital experience. Even with increased traffic, the digital experience could still be preventing those potential tenants from converting. So you're going to want to review your landing page, your photos. What do they look like? What story do they tell initially when somebody visits your website? Are your units, listings, and descriptions descriptive enough so somebody understands what they're renting? And then what does your online process look like? Is there a friction point where somebody's dropping off in that process? So if the website experience feels outdated, confusing, or difficult to navigate, competitors may just leave completely and rent somewhere else because of that process. So what does that mean for operators of today? Most of our facilities are not dependent on a single on-site manager to handle that entire customer journey. Marketing, automation, call centers, online rentals, and operations all have to work together and influence each other and work seamlessly to create this holistic experience, which means you also have to evaluate your reports holistically and not in individual silos. So we're not just asking whether website traffic is increasing or decreasing, or phone calls are increasing or decreasing, or traffic to your store is increasing or decreasing. We're asking whether the customer journey across marketing and operations is working effectively together. So at the end of the day, reports tell us what's happening. It's our job to determine why it's happening. So while understanding how all of the systems work together, it's incredibly important that they're creating a seamless and frictionless experience. And that is why I like to keep my analysis simple. At the end of the day, website traffic, leads, rentals, and occupancy aren't the only metrics you're going to look at, but they give you so many clues as to understanding what the impact is. So when you understand how those four metrics work together, you can quickly identify whether the issue is a marketing issue, a pricing issue, or an operational issue. And then you can focus your attention where it needs to be to create the greatest impact. And that's how you turn your reports into strategy and your strategy into growth.